You know that thing where you open the fridge 17 times hoping food will magically appear even though you know exactly what is in there? That is not normal curiosity. That is ADHD, and if that made you laugh because you did that twice today, welcome. You are in the right place. Here are 5 things about ADHD that finally make sense when someone explains them properly. Thing 1. Your brain does not have a pause button. Most people can think about one thing, finish that thought, and move on. You think about one thing and your brain opens 46 related tabs. You start thinking about dinner. Then you remember that restaurant you went to 3 years ago. Then you wonder if they are still open. Then you are Googling their hours. Then you are reading reviews. Then you are looking at photos of food. Then you realize you still have not decided what is for dinner. This is not you being distracted. This is your brain making connections faster than you can follow them. Normal brains think in a straight line. ADHD brains think in a web. Everything connects to everything. And once you pull one thread, 12 more appear. People call this lack of focus, but it is not. You are focusing on everything simultaneously, which looks the same as focusing on nothing. And here is the cruel part, you cannot turn it off. There is no pause button, no off switch. Your brain is always running, always connecting, always opening new tabs. Which is why you can lie in bed exhausted and still not fall asleep. Because your brain is busy wondering if penguins have knees. They do, by the way. You are welcome for that. Thing 2, you are not lazy. You are waiting for the panic deadline. People without ADHD can start tasks when they decide to. You can only start tasks when the fear of not doing them becomes stronger than the fear of doing them wrong. This is not procrastination. Procrastination is I will do it later. ADHD is I literally cannot make my brain care about this until it is urgent. Your brain runs on adrenaline, not deadlines. And adrenaline only shows up when things are on fire, so you wait. Not because you want to, but because your brain refuses to activate until the panic sets in. And then suddenly it is 11 p.m. the night before the thing is due, and your brain wakes up like, oh, now we care about this. And you do in 3 hours what you have been trying to do for 3 weeks. People see that and think you are irresponsible. But you are not. You are just working with a brain that only responds to emergency mode. It is like having a smoke detector for motivation. It does not go off when things are fine. It only goes off when the house is on fire. And unfortunately, you need the house to be on fire before you can function, which is exhausting. Because you are constantly either bored or panicking. There is no in between. Thing 3. Object permanence does not exist for you. Out of sight is not just out of mind, it is out of existence. If you cannot see it, it does not exist. If you put something in a drawer, it is gone forever. If someone is not in front of you, you forget they exist. This is why you have 17 half-empty water bottles around your room. Because every time you leave one somewhere, it stops existing. So you get a new one. This is why you forget to respond to texts. Not because you do not care, but because once you close the message, it leaves your brain entirely. This is why you put things in special places so you will not lose them, and then immediately lose them. Because the special place is not visible, so it stops being real. People think you are careless, but you are not. You are just living in a world where things only exist if you can see them, which is why your workspace looks chaotic. Because if you organize things into drawers, you will forget you own them. So everything stays out, visible. Because visible means it still exists, and people look at that and call it messy. But it is not messy. It is a survival strategy. If it is not in front of you, it is not real. That is not carelessness, that is just how your brain works. Thing 4. You are either hyperfocused or completely unfocused. There is no middle. Normal people can focus on something for a reasonable amount of time and then stop. You either cannot focus at all, or you focus so hard you forget to eat. There is no casual focus. There is no moderate attention. It is 0 or 100. You sit down to check one email and 4 hours later you have reorganized your entire inbox, color-coded everything, and created a system you will never use again. Or you sit down to work and cannot make it past the first sentence, because your brain is too busy noticing the hum of the refrigerator. And you cannot choose which one happens. It is random. It is unpredictable, and it is infuriating. Because people expect you to focus on command, but your brain does not work that way. It focuses when it wants to, on what it wants to, for however long it decides. And if the task is not interesting enough, your brain just says no. and no amount of willpower changes that. This is why you can spend 6 hours researching something completely useless, but cannot spend 6 minutes on something important. Your brain does not prioritize based on importance. It prioritizes based on interest. And if it is not interested, it is not happening, which makes deadlines terrifying. Because you never know if your brain will cooperate or if you will spend 3 hours staring at a blank page. Thing 5. Rejection sensitivity is real and it is brutal. Most people can handle criticism without it destroying their entire week. You cannot. Someone gives you feedback and your brain hears you are terrible at everything and everyone hates you. Someone does not text back and your brain says they are done with you forever. Someone seems annoyed and your brain assumes you did something unforgivable. This is not you being dramatic. This is rejection-sensitive dysphoria. And it is part of ADHD. Your brain does not process rejection like other brains. It amplifies it. It catastrophizes it. It makes a small thing feel like the end of the world. And the worst part is, you know it is irrational. You know logically that one person being short with you does not mean your life is over. But knowing that does not stop your brain from spiraling anyway. So you spend hours replaying a 2-second interaction trying to figure out if you said something wrong. You avoid people because the fear of being rejected is worse than being alone. You overanalyze every message, every tone, every facial expression, looking for signs that someone is upset with you, and people do not get it. They say you are overthinking. Just let it go. But you cannot let it go. Because your brain will not let it go. It holds on to rejection like it is evidence. And it uses that evidence to convince you that you are not good enough, which is exhausting. Because you are constantly managing a brain that treats every minor social interaction like a threat. So those are the 5 things. Your brain does not pause. You need panic to start. Objects disappear when you cannot see them. You are either all in or completely out, and rejection feels like the end of the world. None of this makes you broken. It just makes you ADHD. And once you understand that these are not character flaws, they are brain differences, everything gets a little easier. Not because the things go away, but because you stop blaming yourself for them. You are not lazy. You are waiting for your brain to cooperate. You are not careless. You are working with a brain that operates on visibility. You are not dramatic. You are managing rejection sensitivity that most people do not experience. You are not incapable of focus. You just focus differently, and none of that is your fault. It is just how your brain is wired. So the next time someone tells you to just focus or just start or just calm down, you can smile and know that they have no idea what they are talking about. Because they do not have to negotiate with a brain that runs on chaos, but you do. And the fact that you are still here, still trying, still functioning, is honestly impressive. You are not failing at being normal. You are succeeding at being ADHD, and that is harder than it looks.